I lived in Iran almost 11 years. So I was born in 78. We left July 15th of 89. Went to Germany at a refugee camp, and then we came here. So, but I live there, so I know the environment, the climate, how it is. And when you're in business, you have enemies. You have a lot of competitors, and you have to know whose threats are real threats and whose threats are just, hot air. I want to do this to you. Oh, you're not going to do nothing. But if that guy says, I'm going to do something, you're like, hey, listen, we have to pay attention to this. You guys sit there all day, watch tape of who the enemies are. You study Iran. You study, what happened with Yemen. You study what happened with, Gaddafi or Saddam Hussein or Putin or all that. That's the business model. I'm assuming. I'm just speculating. I'm not in it. That's your world. And do you guys talk about, those guys are not going to do nothing to us. Their threats mean nothing. Or to say, no, when that guy says that, listen, we have to really be ready that they're capable of doing something. How did you guys, 17 years, you're tier one, how do you view when Iran makes threats?
For me personally, I look at it just like Osama bin Laden. Threatened it for a long time, said he was going to attack the homeland and didn't take it serious. And I think after that, you got to take every threat serious. You just have to. Especially now, open borders. There's so many people pouring in this country, and if they want to spin it on and turn it on, they can really, really fast. So I think now, after 9/11, I think everybody is taking every threat seriously. At least you should, because they proved it. I mean, we've had to adopt a lot of cultural changes since 9/11 for the good. I think it's made us better overall. No, I mean, you can't look at guys like that and just, he won't do that. Well, we've already said that before. We said that multiple times. We said that as long as I can remember. We said that through World War II. We said it with Japanese. We said it with everybody. They won't do that. Yeah, they did. Yes, they did. They flew his plane straight over here, crashed him into Pearl Harbor, and then kicked off the whole thing. They will. They will do that. Yeah. Now,
so don't underestimate the power of any threats,
especially not threats that have actual money and resources.
I think after 9/11, it was a complete switch. That you can't just pass off threats. And the communication technology that's evolved across the world on intel. And I think there's different ways to defeat them, even if it's not a missile. But I don't think they're missing any of it now. I mean, they're catching everything, and they probably got AI involved as well. And, part of the problem, from my understanding, with 9/11 is none of the intel were talking to each other. And now it's like all the intels are talking to each other.
All the intels are talking to each other. So,
like all the different intelligence agencies, whoever's collecting, picking up.
From different countries or, okay. So you're saying like more of a united front of a CIA, Mossad, MI6 than it was before?
Yeah.
Or you're saying more at your level?
Definitely at our level. Definitely at our level than our interagency partners and all our allies, like our closest allies.
That's what I'm saying. So yeah.
We're all pointing in the exact same direction, which is the source of our strength, really, is how good our allies are and how much we really do support each other.
Got it. So when you say that, like you guys, do you see Delta as a team? Do you see 18 Deltas as a team? Do you see Delta Force as a team? Do you guys see each other as equals?
Mm-hmm.
You do. So, okay. Was it more competitive pre-9/11? Where it was a little bit more lax, and now it's like, listen, no one's going to ever do a 9/11 again under our watch?
It certainly felt like the 90s. I wasn't active duty in the 90s, but I grew up in the 90s. A lot of it was training. You deploy to Germany, you do interagency ops with Poland, all our European counterparts. They do cold weather training in Alaska for 6 months. I mean, everything was just a big training mission, waiting for one big thing to pop. And now that it has popped and we've seen it, we've come so far tactically, technologically in the last 25 years that I think now we're in such a good spot to defend the nation. And now with our allies too. I mean, 9/11 was the worst thing that's ever happened to us, but in a lot of ways, if it wouldn't have happened, we'd be in the Stone Age still. I mean, you look at body armor, AI, just digital communications, everything that had to elevate and grow so fast. If we wouldn't have had 9/11, we wouldn't. We would have stayed the same way. And I look at it like, and this will sound messed up, but if you look at Black Hawk Down, October 3, 93, look at the gear they're wearing, and then look when they stepped on the ground in Afghanistan. Not much change. Same body armor, same carbines, same helmets. Nothing really changed because they didn't have a reason to evolve. Now you step foot on Afghanistan, you're like, oh my God, this is not the same. This is very, very different. Then you teleport that same crew in Iraq 3 years later. Oh, wow. Oh no, like these IEDs are a serious issue right now. They're detonating them 50 different ways. Like we can't stay ahead of this. How are we going to do it? Engineers attack this problem over and over and over. EOD, everything you come across, pump us the info. We've got to be able to solve this. And that's what they did. I mean, when we think about it, like if we only would have hit Afghanistan, no Iraq, there's so many lessons we learned from Iraq that if we wouldn't have invaded, we wouldn't have had them. Like we would not have evolved to where we are right now if we wouldn't have hit them both. I'm not saying we should have hit them both, but I'm saying the benefit of doing them, it really, I mean, the learning curve, tactics, techniques, procedures, just everything, it really, really evolved during the height of the war, and all our allies really benefited from it.
Let me ask you, because technology's advanced on all levels, right? So the way they did 9/11, and now afterwards, like, whoa, no, it's not going to happen again. Well, what do we make a mistake? Boom, communications. Okay, great. So we knew we had science. Yes, we knew what's on. Okay, airport. Who was able to get in? The enemy, their technology is advanced as much as us. Our technology is advanced, right? Is it easier for the enemy to the level of advancement to be able to conduct another 9/11 in a more creative way? Has that advanced more than our ability to prevent it from happening? What do you think has advanced more?
I mean, I think with growing and technology threats, I'm not going to say that you can't keep up with them. I mean, it's kind of like I say hacking. You're always like stepping up that code to protect your systems. But as technology evolves, you're always kind of playing that cat and mouse game of maybe the technology hasn't evolved as fast, but your defense is higher, and kind of vice versa. But I think they're always evolving every year into new threats.
I mean, it's no different if you and me are both professional boxers. You're doing your training camp. I do a secret training camp with some ninjas, and I'm just training in isolation. You have no idea. There's no training footage leaking. You have no idea what I'm doing. I step out, bell rings, and I hit you with something you've never, ever seen before. Okay, now I have to go back to the drawing board. Now everybody else sees that. I think a lot of this time, it sucks, but you're almost in a defensive posture. Like we've prepped for everything we know right now. We have contingencies for the unknowns, and if they happen, this is how we're gonna combat it.
So which one are we though? Are we the one that's trained and improved without anybody seeing it, or is that the enemy?
Both.
Okay, so that's a little bit intense.
It is because
Right.
yeah, I mean it's spy on spy. I mean you're training, you're perfecting, advancing as much as you can, but you have to do it in secrecy, and that's where a lot of the general public, they want to know everything you're doing. The Area 51s release all the documents. We want to have full open source to everything the military does. You can't do that. You shouldn't have any right to do that, because if you know it, everybody else knows it. Well, they're doing the exact same thing. Just a lot of time their tradecraft is better. Like they don't have cell phone communications. They just do it in straight isolation. They bring in all the parties from all the other countries and train them up on bomb making and all this other stuff. Now they're doing it in isolation. They're not putting out propaganda videos, so you don't know how far ahead they are. You hear rumor mill.
There's a community that said, hey, Trump, his first 4 years when he was president, there was no wars, ISIS was gone, a bunch of different progress that took place. And then Biden comes in, Ukraine, Russia, you got Israel, Hamas, all these things that are taking place all over the place. Now Trump is in. Day one, peace, deal between Ukraine and Russia. Day one, we're going to have Iran, Israel is going to be done. It's not going to happen. Hamas, boom. Okay, great. Now it's a slightly different energy. If you do this, we're going to do this. Okay. And you better release the hostages. They don't. You better release the hostages. They don't. You better release the hostages. They don't. What is your position? Because some are saying, I'm a fully anti-war. If Trump, I swear to God, if Trump goes out there and we go to war, I'll be the first one to come out and say that I make the biggest regret of my life ever to, vote for Trump, and I should have never done it. We cannot be going to war, and we're getting closer to a war. What's your position with that? Just putting it on you, Cole.
I'll say the limited foreign policy that I somewhat know. We've always helped fund our partners internationally to protect, whether it's just a partnership or there's a mutual benefit between those. we've become kind of taken advantage of on that, on how we help support and fund those, and where the countries kind of just depend on us no matter what. I appreciate Trump's approach on kind of trying to get those wars to stop. Understanding both sides of why they're angry, why they're fighting. I don't know the conversations that go on behind closed doors on how Trump pushes them to get the treaties, but I think it's great. It would definitely be something different if we were attacked here and we were having to attack a different country, but really trying to minimize and stabilize the countries and environments. And I say there's always a winner in war, but it's like no one's winning. I mean, both sides are losing people. So it's not strategic. And I mean, I think it's just good that he's able to try and create peace on those.
What do you think?
I think if you haven't fought in a war, if you haven't given up your children to fight in a war, I don't really care about your opinion. And I know that sounds bad, but we've been doing this for a long time. And if I didn't think it was a worthy cause, I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't. And if Trump did a recall right now and I had to slap it all back on, I'd go, because I think it's worth it. I watched him for 4 years avoid all these major conflicts. He is not one of those dudes, some warmonger just trying to push it. He's not. If he was, he would have done it. He had every reason to do it. The most powerful dude in the world. If you wanted to spend your first 4 years just laying hate and waste to everybody who ever did you wrong, he could have done it. He didn't do it. I watched him be really diplomatic and solve a lot of issues with just a phone call that I hadn't seen before. I mean, my foreign policy is not as good as it probably should be. I mean, there's a lot of backdoor conversations that are happening, but at the end of the day, if you say you can't ever do that thing ever again and they continue to do it, at what point are you going to send it? Going to go the entire way. That's where it gets dangerous. You call their bluff. If you don't release hostages, I'm doing X, Y, and Z. They don't release them. Well, now I've kind of painted us all in a corner, and that's where it gets kind of dicey. It's like, well, you have to go now.
You have to go.
You have to go. And I don't know what he says on these phone calls to get them to change their mind. I have no idea, but it's working. I mean, he's done it successfully multiple times. I don't want us to go to war. I definitely don't want us to go to war with China, with Russia, with any of these people. But at a certain point, you can't give them an inch. If you do, they'll take a mile. I think a lot of times, just like Cole said, I mean, we become the blanket of coverage and support for everyone else. And Ukraine's a perfect example. We have to fly over quite a few countries that are really close to Ukraine in order to give them support. And I feel like not a lot of other people are. Like, we say that, like, well, if they take Ukraine, they're just going to keep going. What are you guys going to do about it? Like, I shouldn't have to fly from our country over all of your countries and land there and try to solve that for you. We should all be trying to solve it together. And I feel like we always have to be the big brother to step in first and kind of draw that line in the sand. And it puts a lot of people against us. And then it stirs up a lot of hate and discontent inside of the own country. It just does. People don't want to go to war. They want to go to war. They see this. They see that. A lot of times it's a lose-lose. Hey, what's going on, guys? DJ Shipley and Cole Fackler from GBRS Group. I want to talk to you real quick about my neck.
Retired Navy SEALs, entrepreneurs, and co-founders of GBRS Group.
Cover everything from flat range shooting, mental health, mental resiliency, physical education, anything you guys really want to drop into. Search us on Connect, find us on there, and I'd love to connect with you guys.
Look forward to hearing from you.
Appreciate you guys. We'll talk soon.
If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.